All right, everybody, just give me a minute here. I'm going to talk about the Santa Fe shooting. I know it's the hot topic of the day. So just please bear with me a minute, okay? All righty, just bear with me, please. Please give me a minute, okay? Give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute, please. Hey, Naza, how you doing? Just give me a minute, please. Give me a minute, okay? Talk about the Santa Fe shooting here in a minute, but I always give 2 minutes because it gives time people to join me in my video. All right. All righty, pretty soon here. Pretty soon here. Okay. All right. All right. Here in a few seconds, I'll start. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo. All right. Like I stated earlier, I want to talk about the Santa Fe shooting, which happened yesterday. Now, before I get much further into this, my heart goes out to all the victims and the people who got shot and killed, the people who got wounded, and all the people who suffered through this horrific event. My heart's out to you. You got my condolences, and I pray for your speedy recovery, that you get through this to a community, and hope you build a stronger, better community when after all said and done. All right. Now let's move on from there. Okay, on the Santa Fe shooting there happened in Texas the other day. Now I've been doing a lot of studying, and I'm trying to draw my own conclusions. Okay. Now, first thing I want to start out with this. I saw a Facebook page of this guy. Okay, I can't really pronounce his name. Pedro something or another, okay? But I know who this guy is. I'm sure you do too. A 17-year-old kid, okay, who has a Greek ancestry, babe. I think his parents or his or his grandparents are Greek immigrants. But move on besides that, Move on besides that, There was a Facebook, well, I would say a false Facebook profile of this guy with him with the Hillary Clinton. How's it? Hillary Clinton 2016 with the Antifa logo on it. That was false. That was false. That was fake. I don't know who posted that up there, but legitimately, that was fake. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't like the left. I cannot stand Antifa, anything like that. But I have to call it like I see it. That was fake. So if you run across a picture of this guy wearing a Hillary Clinton cap, the Antifa logo on the back, that is fake. Do not believe it. All right. Now let's move on from there, okay? But like I said earlier, the kid was a white kid. I admit that. He was 17 years old who had a Greek ancestry. Now, what I seen today of this kid, okay? Now, first thing you know, after everything is said, and of course, you know how the left likes to blame the AR-15 for all the mass shootings, stuff like that, which a few were used in mass shootings. You can't deny that. You cannot dispute that, okay? But here's the thing. On the murder rate in the United States, less than like 2% is committed by the AR-15, the rifle. Most of them are done with handguns. But let's just move beyond that one, okay? I'm going back to the subject at hand here with this kid, okay? Now, first of all, what I read, this kid, I guess, was bullied a lot by his fellow students and a lot of teachers, okay? Bullied, picked on. He was quiet, kept to himself, I guess, but there was some warning signs, stuff like that from this guy. Now, I know the left, because I saw the picture of the jacket. That jacket probably could more than likely is legit, but it's legit. It had like the little iron cross with the communist signa, I believe, on his left collar. I believe I say, or his right collar. Well, on one of those collars had the communist signa on there with a satanic star at the bottom. You know, the sign of Baphomet, basically. Not really bad, but it's a satanic star with the pentagram with the golden Mendes on his jacket. So I'm taking it, now let me put it this way. Nazism and communism are two separate things. They're separate. I'm not going into details, okay, on this right now. But Nazism and communism are just two separate ideas. There's no way one person can be both. It just, to me, is virtually impossible. You either or. You're either a Nazi or a communist, okay? You're either or. You can't be both. But with that little iron cross, and it looks like a Nazi symbol, but technically the Germans still use that cross today. West Coast choppers or Orange County choppers still use that cross. A lot of people still use that cross today. Doesn't mean you're a racist, but that goes back to dramatic tribe stuff with that iron cross right there. So that doesn't necessarily you're racist. I'm not saying this kid was racist. I really don't know. Besides the point. But doesn't mean he was a Nazi. With a cousin symbol on there, I don't think he's a communist. I'm not saying he's left wing or anything like that, but he's kind of like a communist sympathizer, kind of like a pagan guy, what I've seen of this guy, Basically, I believe he practiced the satanic religion. Theory, okay, not to say Satanists goes out and do mass shooting, anything like this, but that's what I believe who he is on that one. My humble opinion on this, what I've seen around this guy. But I do know that he was picked on a lot. He was harassed a lot at school. And he was bullied enough, I guess, he just drew him over the edge. Just drew him over the line. So he decided to take care of this, to do something about this, to teach him all these people listen, who picked on him and bullied him and everything else. Now, I'm not making excuses for this guy. What he did was wrong. Not making any excuses for him. But him being bullied, him being picked on, just drove him over the edge. And I had to say this very sensitively, but I kind of blame the staff for not catching this sooner and stopping all this harassing and picking on this guy, if that was the case right there, if that was the case. But here's the thing. Here comes the gritty part right here. Reading articles, okay, first he said this kid came in there with an AR-15, an 870 Remington pump action shotgun, and a 38 revolver. Let me tell you something right now. There's no way you can shoot a 12-gauge shotgun, 870 12-gauge shotgun, and an AR-15 at the same damn time. Not going to happen. I mean, unless you're some kind of Terminator robot, like the Terminator movies, you see these robots carrying two high-power rifles in these arms. Unless you're one of them, you're not going to do it. This is from a guy. I shot the 870 Remington shotgun, and I shot the AR-15. Okay, there's no way you can shoot them both at the same time. It's not going to happen. You can't have one in each arm. Go bang, 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 bang. Because, dude, if you shoot that 12-gauge shotgun with one hand, I guarantee you it's going to kick your ass back and you're just going to drop to the fucking floor, basically. The AR-15, you're going to spread the thing so far and wide and shit like that. You'll be hitting it was way but loose, and you're going to drop that shit in the ground. You probably hit your damn self any damn way before anybody else was doing that shit, So there's no way he can use both those rifles. But that had to be retracted, I guess, because later on it said he had an 870 Remington pump action shotgun and a 38 revolver. Okay, that makes sense. Preferably he stole it from his damn dad. That is a good possibility in itself. I'm not going to dispute that. And this guy had a pressure cooker, C4, some explosives on this. So this kid was ready to do some damage. That's what he was ready to fucking do. Some serious damage on this one right here. He was prepared to do some mass damage. Luckily, he was stopped. He surrendered. Not to say this guy deserves to live or anything else. He pulled what he did. He killed 10 people and wounded 7 more. But he was kept alive, which that's the preferred thing to do, so they can kind of determine what happened, what drove him over the edge to do this. My theory is all the harassing and bullying going on in that school with him. Not to say I'm making excuses for them, And here's the thing, the libtards came out there with the AR-15s. Oh, here's the thing, the libtards, okay? They tried to blaze with the AR-15, that failed. So they're going back to the gun control narrative and everything else on this, Every time I have a crisis like this, it always to them, on the libtard eyes, it always goes back to gun control. We need more gun control. We need more gun reform. Blah, 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 yippee-yi-yo. Let me tell you something. You can pass all the gun control bills you want to. It will not stop. It will not stop stuff from this from happening. I'm a guy who's been in a lot of countries around the world. I've been to a lot of countries in Europe, and a lot of countries in the Middle East. I've been to Iraq, okay? And, in Germany, with stricter gun control laws in California, they have mass shootings there. Okay? I mean, they still have gun violence in England, believe it or not. Yes, they still do. They have violence. It just proves you. Even Australia, when they had the most strictest gun control laws in the whole world, basically just banned guns almost everybody, except for a few farmers and shit, they still have gun problems there. They really do. They really do. So I'm going off subject here, but I'll talk more about that later. I just want to point that out to you real quick. This gets to me, with this mass shooting in Santa Fe, Texas, before even the blood dries, where all the wounded got shipped to the hospital to seek medical care. We got people in the hospital, struggling for their life and everything else. The libtards went on TV, obviously, and calling for more gun control when this kid here was 17 years old. So technically he couldn't legally buy a firearm. He couldn't do it. And he had C4 explosives and some pressure cooker made to be a bomb, shit like that. So everything this kid did was illegal. Basically, he stole those firearms, an 870 limited shotgun, 12 gauge, and a 38 revolver. He stole them from his daddy. Got some C4 and some pressure cooker, started to make bombs, stuff like that. Now, here's the kicker. I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but when news breaking out, when Trump was claiming that he was being spied upon, everything else, all this shit is coming up to be true. Of course, the news media liberal media don't want to report this. What do we have here? This mass shooting in Santa Fe with this kid here seems to me to be an easy target to radicalize to do something like that, basically. That seems to me is what happening here. Sounds like a radical conspiracy theory. But the key word is theory here to distract us so the media won't have to talk about the FBI arbitrary spying on the Trump campaign during the 2016 election. I cannot still believe we're still talking about the 2016 election after all this time. But instead of talking about that, they had something else to talk about. The wedding in Britain and the Santa Fe shooting in Texas. The distractors from that. Okay, the practice more gun control measures, everything else we all know is not going to work. And here's the kick. If you really want to stop all these mass shootings in the schools and stuff, what you're going to need is proper armed security. Let me tell you something. Indianapolis, and I believe Chicago, they have what's called school police. They are armed. They patrol the schools parking lot, and inside the schools themselves. They are armed. More than likely, you're not going to see a mass shooting in Indianapolis schools or in Chicago, even though Chicago got the high. Well, screw it, I'm not going to talk about that now. The reason why we'll see in Chicago because they have police there. They have armed officers at the school. Indianapolis has armed officers at the school. And that is proven to work because in Maryland, like a month or a few weeks before this happened, somebody tried to do a mass shooting in one of the Maryland schools, and an armed resource officer stopped him. He shot and killed this guy, from what I read. It was an armed officer who shot and killed this guy to prevent the mass shooting in that school. That what happened there. What it goes to show me is this. In the schools, gun control is not going to do it. If they really want to stop the mass shootings at the schools needs a better security system, period. Let me tell you something. In my hometown in Indianapolis, you're not just going to walk in those schools. They are locked. They have a little button at the counter where they buzz you in with cameras. And you have somebody standing at the door and asking you, like, can I help you? Like, what do you need? You better state a legit reason why you're there. If there's no reason why you're there, they're going to run you off because they have adequate security at the schools. Yes, the doors are locked from the outside, which you can open from the inside, but you can't open from the outside. If you want to get in, you have to ring a damn buzzer where they pop a button in the counter where they know you're coming in, where they see you, and they're going to ask you why you're on school grounds. Now they're going to be professional. They're going to say, hey, may I help you? Something like that. You better give them a good reason why you're there. If not, they're going to ask you to leave. You refuse to leave, the police will be there in seconds to escort you out. And they are armed. That, in my opinion, is proper school security. I don't believe in metal detectors. What I believe is this: proper school security. That means armed officers, secure doors where you can only open from the inside, not from the outside. Where if someone wants to come into the schools, they have to ring a buzzer, where they have to release the lock from the inside, a little buzzer under the counter, going and they go and they'll let you on in. Basically, that's what you need to do. But of course, the libtards are calling for tighter gun control, tighter gun restriction. Even though with more gun ownerships in the United States, gun violence actually went down. They'll never report on that. They won't report on the fact AR-15 does less than 2% of the murder rate in the United States. Yes, they've been using mass shootings, but different reasons for that. I'll go into that later, not now. And it always tickles me when that kid walked in there with an AR-15 and a shotgun and a .38 revolver. Which, here's the thing. There's no way you can do a mass shooting with a 12-gauge shotgun, especially an 870 pump-action shotgun, has a lot of kick to it, and an AR-15 rifle at the same time. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But the story with him carrying a 12-gauge shotgun and a .38 revolver he stole from his father, that story I believe because it sounds logical. Which I'm not saying his father's responsible for this. I'm just saying everything this kid did was illegal. He stole the guns, he had explosives, which is not allowed to have, and everything else which caused this mass shooting. Basically, everything this kid did was illegal and should have nothing to do with gun control. It should have everything to do with more school security. And I will close it out on that note. Thank you for watching. God bless you and have a good day.